It's Monday, March 31st, 2014, and let's talk about what happened this weekend over at XDADevelopers.com. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, the weather has been changing pretty violently here, so my sinuses have decided to act up. Additionally, I managed to work out a sunburn today, so I'm gonna make this quick and then I'm gonna head to bed. The first several stories were HTC related, so let's lump all of them together in one happy little bundle. If you're an owner of the HTC One Max, at least one of the European or the US Sprint variant, be on the lookout. The update to KitKat has started rolling out over the air, and the updates have been captured and made available. Check for the portal post. They have links to Google Drive and wherever else they happen to be mirrored there. Unfortunately, the ones that I didn't mention, so like Verizon and other carriers like that, they have not received their updates yet. I will let you know as soon as I hear something about those though. And speaking of HTC devices, XDA Senior Recognized Developer Jcase and XDA Recognized Developer beaups have come out with a brand new exploit that works on the Verizon variants of the brand new HTC One M8, the 2014 edition, and the previous generation HTC One M7, the 2013 variant. They're calling this exploit Weak Sauce, and additionally they managed to put together an S-Off for the 2013 Verizon HTC One as well. Now it should be mentioned that neither one of these two developers actually own the HTC One M8, but they made this exploit. It does work for the 2013 edition, and apparently people that have the 2014 edition have tested it out. So we will know more once they actually have those devices, and if you are interested in learning more about it, if you have the Verizon M8, head on over to the forum thread for all the details. And actually, speaking of the M8, if you're a user of an older HTC device like, say, the HTC Evo 4G LTE, there's a very good chance you're not going to be seeing any updates to newer versions of Android anytime soon. But fortunately for you, a couple of developers, specifically XDA recognized developers Sinister Tensei and recognized contributor Chubslu, came together and made a ROM for, like I said, the HTC Evo 4G LTE, which runs on Sprint, porting over the ROM from the M8, including Sense 6 and KitKat, to that device. It's still very early and it's not what I would call daily driver worthy. Things like the camera, sound, calling, mobile data are not working, which means that it's not really usable for anything yet, but it is definitely a start. So if you have this Evo 4G LTE and you're interested in maybe helping out or trying it out on your device, keeping that in mind that it ain't going to be usable for much, head on over to that forum thread for all the details as well. Next up, I saw a story this weekend that actually sounded kind of familiar because there was one that was kind of similar just a few weeks back. XDA senior member XDA put together a bit of a mod for the LG G2 that adds in 4K video and 120 frame per second video. But it also makes some changes to the built-in modes of the camera, so it'll use different ISOs when it normally wouldn't have, or different shutter speeds when it normally would have defaulted to other things. It also makes the intelligent auto capture mode a little bit better. It's hard to really put a finger on it. I read through the forum thread, and that's sort of the overwhelming response, was that the auto mode was just so much better than the stock camera, and overall that it was just better in low light and easier to focus and faster. And according to the portal post, you can even enable HDR in video mode. So that should be very interesting to see. I'll probably take a look at it over on my G2 at some point in the future when I have a little bit of time and don't feel so terrible. But if you have the G2 and you're interested in getting your hands on some 4K video, some 120 frames per second video, those are mutually exclusive things, by the way, head on over to the forum and check out this thread. And the very last thing that I thought I would mention, just kind of interesting to me because I am a fan of smartwatches. Earlier this year at CES, the Omate TrueSmart smartwatch officially became available at CES 2014 after a very successful Kickstarter campaign. But because it has that MediaTek processor inside of it, development's been a little bit slow. But a story came out this weekend talking about a Bluetooth tethering ROM for the TrueSmart smartwatch, which, while the TrueSmart itself offers a lot of functionality out of the box, Bluetooth tethering is not something that it's particularly strong at, so definitely very nice to have this option available if it's something that you're interested in. So if you have one of these TrueSmart smartwatches and you're interested in tinkering around with it just a little bit, head on over to XDA Recognized Developer Troy's thread to get all the details on how you can flash this over to it and what you can do with it and everything like that. But you know what? That's going to be about all from me for today. I'm going to go ahead and rest my voice, take some Sudafed, and head to bed. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button down below the video if you like this video, and subscribe to receive our content as soon as it becomes available. Remember, you can also find my YouTube channels down at the bottom of the video description, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye guys.